Grading Tutorials. In this video, we'll be showing you how to make your very own pillow cover. To learn more, keep watching. Before you begin this project, you'll need to decide what pillow you will be recovering. For this project, we've chosen a very standard decorative sized pillow. You can set it aside because you won't need it until later. Now, before you actually start to sew anything, you'll need to cut and measure your fabric. We've pre-cut our fabric to its proper size, but what you'll need to do is determine the size of your pillow all around the four corners and leave 1 inch for seam allowances to make sure that you have enough extra fabric for when you stitch all of your pieces together. The next step, after you have cut all of your fabric to its proper shape, is to determine and to press out your seam edges. We've already gone ahead and done this before the video, but I can show you what it looks like right now. What you want to do is take your fabric and measure approximately 1/2 inch to 1 inch from the edge that you wish to have become your seam, and fold it back, and carefully with your iron, take it along the edge and press it so that later, when you go to stitch in your seams, you won't have to deal with the fabric folding back on you, and it will make your job much easier. The next step is to take your fabric and place it wrong side out into the shape that you want it to be when you stitch it. Your fabric must be placed wrong side out, like so. The decorative side that you want to be on the outside of your pillow when you finish sewing the cover should be insides facing each other, so that when you turn your pillow right side out, the proper side of the fabric will be displayed. Now you're going to want to lay the pieces on top of each other, making sure that your seams line up on all sides to make your sewing job easier. For this step, you will need to have a set of straight pins so that you can attach your pieces of fabric together so they won't come apart when you're sewing them. To do this, you need to take your fabric, both pieces of fabric in your hand, push the straight pin through the fabric, and pull it back in through the other side. Try to do this as closely to the edge as you can so that you can stitch alongside it when you're sewing your seams. You're going to want to do this all around the entire length of all 4 sides of your pillow. We're going to go ahead and do this off camera, and we'll come back when we've finished. Okay, so we've gone ahead and gone around all 4 edges of our fabric, pinning along as we go at various intervals, as you can see. So now we're ready to begin the sewing stage of this project. Now you can sew this project by hand with just a needle and thread, but I don't recommend that you do that, as it can take a very long time and your seams might not come out as strongly as you'd hoped if you can't get the stitches close enough together. For this project, we're going to be using a Singer sewing machine. It's a relatively standard sized sewing machine, which is what I suggest for this project. So we're going to go ahead now and start stitching our fabric together. Okay, so we're starting the sewing process of this project. Now what you want to do is you want to have your fabric down underneath the needle and have the foot clamped down to keep your fabric in place as you sew. This is a fairly straightforward procedure, as we're just going to sew right alongside the pins that we've put into our fabric, taking care not to get the pins caught underneath the foot of the sewing machine, as they can get caught and damage the sewing machine and may even spring back at you. So take care not to get these caught under the foot pedal as you work. All you're going to do is sew a straight line right down, and then we're going to take it around the corner to the other edge of the fabric. going to dub this over. So now that we're finished sewing, we can release the foot on the sewing machine and make sure your needle is in the all the way upwards position so that you can remove your fabric easily from the machine. You want to drag your fabric out so that you have tails left over for the next time you use your machine, and just snip the extra threading so that we can turn our project right side out. Okay, so now that we've cut all the threads on our project, we're ready to turn it right side out. So you just want to take your fabric and pull the corners through like this. You're going to want to make sure you fully push through the corners so no fabric is left stuck inside, and go around all of the seams to make sure all of your stitches are nice and tight. If you did all of the steps in the project correctly, you should have a beautiful new handmade pillowcase to decorate your house with. You can now take the pillowcase and place the pillow form inside of it like so. And there you have it. From all of us here at Spazio, happy crafting! See you next time.